there. Are you a bit sort of panicky when it comes to public speaking? I wonder if that's true for you. An awful lot of people, it is. Let's come back to this one, please. Here we go. Hang on, let's go to this one. And oh, now what I'm not sure is whether that's actually going to impact the. No, should be all right. Okay, right. Where do we get to? Forgive me, I'm a little bit discombobulated there. Panicking about public speaking. Is that the situation you are in right now? I'm particularly thinking of people who are authors, entrepreneurs who are authors, and my work speaks for itself. I don't want to do the public speaking thing. Well, there's a way around it. I've got a simple 3-step process to take the panic out of public speaking. I got a bit playful with this and thought we can take the P out of public speaking, but forgive me, that's me being a little bit juvenile. Okay, so what's this all about? Well, 3 steps: plan, practice, process. Sounds easy, huh? Well, it is actually. Come with me. Planning is a big deal. Now, this is planning what you're going to say, who your audience is, and dependent on who your audience is also going to be what you're going to say, because you need to speak to that particular audience. If you are talking to teenagers, you're not going to use the same vocabulary as you would with your granny, are you? Let's face it. So that's important. Know who you're speaking to. Know why you're speaking. What's the purpose? What's the intention behind it? Is it to educate? Is it to inspire? Is it to have fun? What is the purpose? Entertain, that's the word I was after. So what's your purpose? Why you? Why now? And that's an important one. If you have a book coming up, you've got a publication date, start getting onto podcasts, applying for podcasts way in advance, because podcast hosts are often recording 2-3 months out. Now, if you want to be having a podcast appearance as part of your marketing strategy, I highly recommend you do. Think about it 3 months out, set your publication date and start applying now. We had a recording for somebody whose book is out next week, and I managed to slot them in because I've had a no-show on one of my schedule. But the point that she made was, learn from me, don't leave it to the last minute. So this is why the planning of the dates and the timing is important. Start with the end in mind. So planning when you're going to speak, who you're going to speak to, what you're going to say, why you're going to say it. All of those wonderful, juicy planning things. That'll take the initial out of it. Because if you procrastinate when you're planning, you're going to end up, oh, shoot, it's tomorrow and I've done nothing about it. And that's going to increase your level of panic. And that's not a good place to be. Because when you panic, that's when you don't do a good job. And you know that. So that's the plan part. Then you come on to the practice part. Oh, as a TEDx coach working with University of Western Australia for 5 years, I had an awful lot of professional speakers through the door. And one of them very clearly said to me, Wendy, I know how to speak. I've been lecturing for 25 years. Don't need your help. Okay. So would you give me 2 sessions, please, just to try it out? Because speaking from the red circle is very different from lecturing. when you have a microphone in front of you, a lectern with your notes on, lots of slides, and a captive audience that have to pay attention to you because they're going to get examined on it. This is different. Will you give me 2 sessions? After the first one, she said, "Oh, it is different, isn't it?" Yeah, it is. So that practice point is particularly important if you're good at speaking if you're in a different area and you think, okay, I can do this, standing on my head. You're maybe not. So my point here is practice, rehearse. And you're going to be doing it in different ways. There's the words you're going to say. And I would highly recommend that you don't learn your script verbatim. You've planned it out. And if you're doing a TEDx, by the way, you do need to submit your script so they can fact check it. My point is, if you learn it from a script, you can tell, you can hear it as you're reciting it. In effect, you're not speaking from the heart. So yeah, learn your words, learn the flow of it, learn the physicality of it. How are you going to bring those words to life? Now, if you are practicing for a stage performance, if you will, how much space have you got? Have you got that 3-meter diameter red circle? Because you've got to stay within that for the camera angles. Have you got a full stage? Are you doing a virtual one like this? So you have your own little window, in which case, when you gesture outside the window, nobody can see what you're doing anyway. You have to remember to bring things within the window. So it's all of that practicing of the physicality stuff. Practice the emotion, practice how you're going to bring it all together. So we got a lot of practice in there. Don't leave it to the last minute like I did last year and froze on stage. Yes, even somebody who is a seasoned speaker can get it wrong. I'm talking to myself here as well. You know, this is born out of experience, these 3 Ps. And then I'm going to suggest that you process. That's the 3rd P, process. Now, what do I mean by process? Review it, critique it. Note, critique, not critical. You will do 3 talks on the day. 1 on the way there, either physically or metaphorically. You'll rehearse it. Remember, we've been practice. You will do 1 on the day, the one that you present to your audience, be it physical or virtual. And 1 on the way home when you berate yourself for all the things that you missed off and you didn't do this and you didn't do that. And did you hang fire? What did you get right? When I froze on stage last year, somebody I really trust their opinion on said to me, "Is your itty bitty shitty committee working right now?" Was that in a critic, and I mean critic, was really laying into me of all the things I didn't practice. And yes, all right, I've heard that, thank you. My point is, when you are practicing, record yourself, whether it be on a Zoom thing that you can go back and review. You can put it up onto YouTube as an unlisted, and you can go back and look at it, or even private. If you put it as unlisted, you can share the URL with a trusted professional who can then check it out and go, yeah, try this bit, tweak it here, tweak it there. You can do that for yourself as well. There are programs, a bot program called Udly, which can help as well. It's a paid one, but it'll give you an idea of how you can improve. And that's the point. You process, you review to improve, not to beat yourself up, but how could you do it differently? What worked? What didn't? What examples landed for that audience? If you are to do that talk again for a similar audience, are there any other examples that you could use that would work better? Do you see where I'm going with this one? When you can take that step back. Come out of the emotion of, oh, it's public speaking, I can't do this. Yes, you can. And not only that, the more you do it, the more comfortable you become. Because you're getting, just to start with, it's in your, what I call unfamiliar zone. I don't talk about comfort zones because very often our comfort zone is anything but comfortable, but it is familiar. So the more you come out of that comfortable, uncomfortable, familiar zone, and you'd stretch yourself into the public speaking arena, the more familiar you get, the more comfortable you get. So it takes the practice, but I would also, again, remind you that the more you do it, the more you need to do it, because there is the tendency for complacency. If you are a professional voice user, professional speaker, and you go into a different genre, because all of these stages have complementary and different skill sets required. So I trust this has given you something to bite into, cogitate. I'm going to look a bit more on this over the next few weeks. I'm going to break it down further. But to take the P out of your panic with your public speaking, we're going to plan, practice, and process. Let me know how you get on with this. I'd love your feedback as to whether this process, this framework, is something that is useful to you to grasp hold of. DM me if you want some extra help with this. Comment in the comments. Yes, do comment below. Tell me what you think. Is this helpful? How could you work with this for yourself? Till next week.